Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Have you ever studied on that? Time and a season. A purpose, a time for everything under the heavens. A time. But I'm going to come a little bit different in this video because I have another video up talking about it scripturally, teaching on it. But I want to come and talk to the world in this video because some people don't understand the Bible. So let me come at it a different angle. And I'm going to tie this in with a lot of things. First of all, when you think about time, that's one thing in this world you can't get back. You can't get it back. And you can only do something for so long. And another reason I'm doing this because I'm giving a shout out to L, who just lost one of his old partners from pumping too much Viagra and weed and all of that stuff. I just did a video not too long ago about that. And you know what I like to say, bro? While a lot of these older men are trying to pop these pills to get their penis hard, they pumping their heart probably 8 times faster because they got to keep up with the young girls. These young girls is getting them killed. And they don't have sense enough to understand you ain't 20 years old no more. You're not 21. You're not 15. And you do something long enough, it'll kill you. It's a time to stop hoeing around before you catch AIDS. You really ain't got no business hoeing around. No way. Let me go back to one of my favorite boxers of all time. And I hate to see him in the state of the situation that he's in now with his health and strength. Ali, one of my favorite. Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, whatever name you want to call him. He was the greatest to me in boxing. And I look at him right now. And I remember when he fought the rounds with his jaw broke. And I thought about that, even got a word out of that. Because I always think if he would have stopped a little bit more ahead of time, his body wouldn't be banged up. Take some of these football players. Some of them only got about 3 or 4 years left in them. Some not that long. And your body can't keep taking all that punishment. And after a while, your body slows down. But your mind, you be having these thoughts saying, I can still do it. Oh, Papa JT had me rolling this morning because he said that's just like saying you got a 90-year-old rapper. He's still rapping, 90 years old. Man, I cracked up laughing because that was funny to me. But that's how a lot of people are doing. I'm going to do it till it kills me. I'm going to run these hoes until it kills me. I hear this every day. And I'll be like, what's your point? I said this in my old video. When your body get older, all that sleeping around and hoeing around, you're going to regret it when you get older. I was talking about that because this is all I heard. How many people trying to outsleep somebody else? I'm going to sleep with more women than you. Men having contests. Women trying to get each other's man or husband. It's a time to stop doing foolish stuff. You can either stop or get killed. It's a time to get off that corner and stop selling dope before you wind up like your partner. See, these things that you think feel good or might look good, it's a cost to pay behind them. I look at a lot of the old school singers who's dead and gone and how they died violently, like Marvin Gaye, shot by his own daddy. I look at a lot of them, man, and Donny Hathaway, they say he dived out the window. Nobody never heard a true ending of these stories. I look at all the dope and the sex and the drugs and the violence that took a lot of people out because we don't have sense enough to stop. I did an old video called Why We Always Want to Give God Our Remains. What's the remains, JT? Well, you done smoked your life away. Now you're in a hospital bed crying and begging for health and strength when you had it all along. I don't know why this happened to me. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. But why do we put even more things on ourselves, PP Drawings? Why? Is it the devil got that much of a lock on you? There's a time and a season for everything. Preachers, let me hit y'all upside the head. You better get right. It's a time to quit. It ain't even time to do that no way. But all this false teaching, fake prosperity sermons. You got time to get it right. Because let me tell you something. Keep on doing what you're doing. And you're going to see that you wish you had to stop doing what you was doing in the long run. Prostitution. How many more women going to get killed because they jumped in the car with somebody they thought was just going to pay them for sex and they wind up taking their life? I told y'all in the old video about the girl that jumped in the car. That was the last day she saw life. She jumped in the car and that was the last thing she did because somebody was so high that they raped her and beat up and didn't even know what they was doing and slit her throat. Gangsters. How long you gonna keep gang banging? Time in the season. See, you just ain't got caught yet. And I got a news flash for you. As I was just talking to one of my partners, how somebody just snitched on one of his partners and the police raided him. And best believe it's going to be a price to pay behind that snitching because once word get out on who snitched on who, somebody family member about to get killed. See, if you from the hood, you know what I'm talking about. It's a time to get right. Now I can understand if you are lost and you ain't trying to find a way, but I find it hard to believe about believers, the ones who love the Lord, who claim to be moving forward, who claim to be Christians, but at the same time, they still lost. How are you lost if you following Christ? Somebody answer that. It's a time and a season. Hypocrites. Time out for that hypocrite. Being a hypocrite. If you can't take that plank out your own eye and look at yourself first, K-Ray say sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. And back to the man who died. You keep trying to keep up with these women. He ain't the only one going through this. Giving a shout out to my man, Mr. Vic. I love his comment he left in my old video about that. I got to keep up. Well, keeping up is causing you your life. You better leave these pills alone. I don't know why some people think that their body is not aging. You ain't in your glorified body yet. See, you ain't in that type of body where you ain't going to feel no more pain, no more suffering, no more... cancer, no more sickness. You ain't in that body. You in this flesh. And this flesh gonna get old. Yeah, you can't slang your penis like you used to because you done used it all up on all them women. See, that's why I practice abstinence. I say, Lord, you bless me with my wife. Let me give it all I got. See, the church don't want to say amen when I start talking like that because sex ain't in the Bible. It ain't nowhere in the Bible. According to them. We waste so much time doing stuff that harm us than doing stuff that help us. Check it out. So many women done had so many abortions that they can't get pregnant no more. They wonder why their body feeling like it feels. So many women had that fine Coke bottle shaped body, but now they 50 and up. They breasts is hanging like cabbage. And it just look terrible because I done had too much sex. I done had too many operations, and I ain't doing this video to make nobody mad. I said this about the men also. He used to be handsome. Now he ain't got no teeth. Balls hanging like horse balls. Sagging, old, wrinkled. I done put too much work in on somebody I shouldn't even been with. Let the church say amen. So many preachers running women. It amazes me how many people talk about the world. In reality, the so-called saints is looking just like the world. So it's a time in the season. It's a time to get mad. See, JT, that was my thing. Now, it's a time for me to cuss you out. And it's a time for me to pray for you. That's how I used to be. I ain't gonna get on camera and lie. It's a time for me to be happy. And it's a time for me to get pissed off. Oh, yeah. It's a time to be quiet. And it's a time to talk. Well, if y'all notice, I've been at that time of talking. And then when I get on the phone with certain people and go certain places, I shut what they call the hell up. Because I need to be ministered to. I need to be talked to in the right way. It's a time for me to pray. Then I even say it's a time for me to stop praying. Why you say that, JT? Because I know what the Bible say. I don't waste time on long prayers. Sometimes I might just say, Lord bless everybody. Amen. Because he already know what everybody need. And the reason I say it's time for me to stop praying, because so I know y'all ain't gonna agree with that, but I always say that because I said it don't matter how much I pray. This Bible right here is still gonna go according to plan. They still gonna be wicked. His people is still gonna perish for the lack of knowledge. No matter how many prayers I waste on that. And I ain't saying that to say that God is weak. No, we act weak. I don't serve no weak God. He gave us all this power, and we don't even use it. So it's a time and a season for everything. It's a time to leave them friends alone. It's a time to quit gossiping with them same old homegirls that ain't doing no better than you are, but they sure can dictate your life. It's a time, fellas, for you to quit hanging around them same old no good, sorry people. You ought to get tired of the same thing year after year after year. It's a time and a season for everything. It's a time out. But do we take the time out to study? See, let me get all the way real. It's a time to grow up. You got more baby mamas and baby daddies at each other's throat, child support, the people in the man in the middle, and all the child is doing is being hurt. It's a time to grow up. If you don't want to grow up for self, at least grow up for your children. Oh man, I can't do that, JT. You don't understand. It's not. Yeah, I feel you. But who gonna be the bigger person? It's a time for these men to stop sleeping with every woman they can get their hand on. And it's a time that these ladies need to quit opening up their legs for every Bojo and Luke. It's a time to stop letting your daughter see this man come in on Monday, and then this other man on Tuesday, and then this woman in on Wednesday. Uh-oh, somebody catch that later on. Time and the season. Time and the season. But the sad thing is, time running out. Time is running out. Peace. Stay blessed.